Here we are back at the TV lobby, and this should be our last trip into heaven. But before that, we're gonna do a few fusions because I actually have some interesting options here. Quite a lot of them, in fact, and I would really like. There's so many Aeon and Jester personas that I haven't fused yet. For some reason, I just don't really often feel the need to grab those, but also one more level and we can get Michael, who's kind of cool, I guess. In some games, Michael's a special fusion, but not in this one. And we can also get, by the light of Horus, you will kneel before us. I always think of that whenever I see this persona. But, so yeah, basically wind and light, and also wind amp. It's got some solid options, but there are other things that I want to do with Mother Harlot. Namely, and I'm going to hold off on fusing Seth until I get Moon to a higher rank, because then I have more chance of you learning Null Light before fusing you potentially into Beelzebub later. Kartikeya starts with Auto Mataru, which is a nice option. I think you were very important in P3. I think you were like a weapon fusion for someone's best weapon or something. Or, like, I don't know, and Mara's back again. But, oh, Masakado. Thor, Lilith, Garuda. You have quite a few weaknesses, though. And I have no way to cover that electric weakness. I definitely want no weaknesses for the boss that's coming up, so I don't know if I'll be using Masakado as a physical persona for that. But, again, who I actually want right now is Byakko. Now, I have a lot of ways of making Byakko, including with a few, like, junk personas. But the one that I'll actually be going for is, I think, yes, Lilith, Kinki, and Tao Wu. I think it's about time to switch out of Kinki. His strength is not great for this point, but Byakko has some pretty good strength and agility, and only weak to fire. I don't know if I have any ways to get rid of that. The weakness, I mean, but let's see if I can pass down to you. Also, Kinki was the one with Medea Rahan, and I kind of want that. I know that Teddy has that skill now, but I want to keep it passing down on the protagonist. Wait, what? I got an accident, but it was still Byakko? What? Wait, I'm confused. You had the same. What? I don't even know what's going on. The day that I'm recording this is actually quite a weird day for me. I just got like a package delivered from somewhere, and it was the wrong item that I ordered, and I'm gonna have to send it back. But what? Okay, so I had this, for some reason I was thinking, okay, now of all times I'm probably gonna get the accident, because it seemed like I was overdue for an accident at this point, but is that, like, was that a ridiculously lucky accident roll? That I got a fusion accident, but it happened to be Byakko? I'm so confused! I don't even know what to say. I've never seen that. I don't even know. Can that happen? My brain is dead right now. Like, I don't know what's going on at all. But anyway, the second fusion that I want to do, I think, although I'll have to see if I can actually make you via other means. Because normally what fusion accidents do is they give you the same skills that you're passing down, but they randomize the arcana of the resulting persona, and you just get whatever is the closest level to what you were trying to fuse. This is why Shiki Orgy is so common in fusion accidents, because it's the highest level full persona that is not an ultimate persona. Anyway, though, Zitzamitl, I think that's how that's pronounced. It's Mesoamerican. Has decent strength for a primary magic user, and also if I fuse you with Thor, Suzaku, Uriel, that's actually not a terrible idea. I can't pass down Thunder Rain, but I already have Byakko for a physical persona right now, and I can pass down Absorb Wind to get rid of your weakness. And let's see, I've also got a lot of other good skills that I can pass down too. Plus 2 junk personas. Like, I think I'm gonna do that. Let's see. I'm gonna see what the comparison in power between Virus Wave and Vorpal Blade is. I'll be right back. Holy crap, Virus Wave is... Why are they both called heavy damage? Virus Wave is 180 power, Vorpal Blade is 400. So, I should probably pass down Vorpal Blade. And not waste that Magician card. Okay, so that gives you no weaknesses. This is actually our first time seeing this Persona in 3D. We use it a little bit in Persona Q on this channel. Looks pretty cool. When you see, like, Aztec mythology reference, the main one you see is Quetzalcoatl, and that's pretty much it, but... Kind of interesting to see, this thing. Dekaja. That might actually be not that bad later on. Regenerate 3 is not amazing. I mean, I could get rid of Mustard Bomb, but old man! Oh, and you're gonna learn Maziodyne anyway. Yeah, so basically good magic and decent physical as well, and thanks to Thor, no weaknesses. Okay, so the other Persona that I wanted to try and get... Mother Harlot Shiki Oji Garuda. That's also not bad. Because I have not used Mother Harlot at all. And I highly doubt that I will, so I may as well fuse her away. Oh, but I was going to use her to make Hachiman, and I can only do that with my new 2 good Personas. So, Hachiman, I find... Hachiman's natural learn state is not that good. But, if you can get Elec Amp onto him somehow... Hachiman is, like, has very, very solid stats, and his only weakness is Darkness, which is an element that this boss is not going to use. We won't be fighting the boss in this part, but we will be preparing for it. And Mother Harlot, Suzaku, and Tao Wu can give me Hachiman. But on the other hand, this Alilard is also very tempting, and that gives me access to Bufu and something else with Makara-Khan, and I want as many things with Makara-Khan as possible, because... the boss of this dungeon also does not like Makara-Khan. I wanted to pass down both of those. And I guess also Mind Charge. Because that's like, I think Zitsumiddle doesn't have Mind Charge. Resist Fire, Mudor Boost. Guess I can pass down Garudyne. So you used to be the ultimate Empress Persona, but you are not anymore. And you were pretty important back in P3 because your heart item, and I'm kind of glad heart items aren't in P4, they were a bit of an awkward mechanic, but... and I like P5's way of kind of handling them, where you actually have to sacrifice the persona and it turns into an item. Growth 2 is okay. Not really sure I need Evade Physical right now, but on something that doesn't have Absorb Physical, it's probably an okay countermeasure. But yeah, your heart item was Divine Pillar, which gives the Unshaken Will, the Firm Stance skill, that's it. I can get you too, speaking of former Ultimate Personas, but let's not do that yet. Also, speaking of former Ultimate Personas, wow, that's a lot of defense, and you naturally repel physical, but weak to both fire and ice is kind of bad. Especially for, and I know I keep saying this, but the upcoming boss fight. I am going to need Neburos for a bit later on. Oh, Yurlunga is Australian. I really want to get Yurlunga, but it's too many personas that I want to keep. Oh, something that I'm going to mention here, as you can see, we are at the right level, and we have all the right personas to make Trumpeter and max out the Empress social link. I'm going to hold off on that for now. The reason is that we don't have a social link for Judgment yet, and I really, really like Trumpeter getting a social link experience boost, because the final skill that Trumpeter learns is amazing. Okay, this might seem a bit weird, but I'm going to buy back Dice Soldier. And that's because it has Mind Charge, and its only weakness is Dark, which again is an element that the upcoming boss does not use. Basically, I'm a little bit worried about Alilard, who's weak to electricity, being my only source of Mind Charge, because that could very easily end in disaster. Now, we're definitely adding Chie to the party. because she's very behind right now. And I would give her the Haikara shirt, except I wanted to keep it on you because I think there's a very good chance we'll at least hit level 74 by the end of the dungeon, and that means I can do something very story appropriate for the boss fight. So Chie is level 60, so really it's just any of Yosuke, Yukiko, Kanji, or Teddy. Pretty much anyone but Naoto. You know, if we're going Chie, we should probably put Yosuke in over Kanji, just because then there's redundancy with, like, physical attackers. Let's go to Paradise 7. Okay, I think I can probably show off some more costumes. I guess I can finally, or, you know, put you in the cool trunks just to get that out of the way. And I suppose I did buy Teddy and Yosuke's swimwear as well. I promised I wouldn't use silly outfits in this part. Though I haven't actually got Yosuke and Teddy's dialogue for the Gecko outfits. I still find it kind of funny how the terms public and private school mean the exact opposite depending on which part of the world you're in. The definitions they're using here fit the ones that I use in Australia, where private schools are not government operated and are generally seen as the kind of more snobbish ones. But in the UK, it's the exact opposite. Oh boy, it's been a few years, but I can just imagine Teddy at Gekkokan High. That would be interesting. Gekkokan High has had way too many Casanovas, though, between the P3 protagonist and Ryoji there. No, don't damage the Gekkokan uniforms, please. Mitsuru would cross time to execute you for doing that. Also, nice pun there, Teddy. I will admit, that pun was actually kind of good. Yosuke always lampshades the sillier outfits. You know, I was about to find some way to tie this back to Nanako in a heartwarming way, and then Teddy had to go and say that. Kanji has bad memories of Kelp now. I guess now we can see what the difference between the Junes apron and the Junes coveralls are. So that's the Junes apron. And the Junes coveralls are... Oh, okay. That's kind of more like a... looks more like a handyman kind of thing. Oh, okay, so no, it's more like a... That's interesting. I think for now I'm going to put Yosuke in the apron. And I mean, you know, while we're here, I guess I can get his conversation for that. I've also put Teddy in the king outfit. Well, you know, Nanako loves Junes. For now, I'll just put you back in the winter casual clothes. I am saving a certain costume for the boss. I'm not going to preempt you, am I? Well, I guess if you want to know how to pronounce it. You know what's really sad? I was just thinking to myself, it's a shame we don't have any team-up attacks in this party. Completely forgot about Junes Bomber. Bufodine's a pretty alright skill card. In fact, I could give that to Zitsumiddle to get more elemental coverage on her. Though, you know, I'd probably have to give it to Marie first. And that actually consumes the skill card, I think, so that's always kind of annoying. You gotta think whether you want to register the skill card or whether you want to use it immediately. Now I'm kind of thinking if there was a system like that for TMs in Pokemon. Now that Naruto's out of the party, I can quote-unquote safely fight these. And I want to because I really, really want, level 74. Both of these cost exactly 100 HP for her now. That sounded really cool, hearing that hit them all at once. Oh no. Thankfully, I have a way out of this. 1, 2, 3. No sweep bonus, thank you very much. That would have been awful if I had been forced to pick that devil card. Holy crap, that's a lot of experience.
Ooh, congratulations!
And still not enough to get Sraosha. Okay, Byakuya levels up. I'm guessing that Skadi will level up a little bit too. Rita, yeah, don't really need that. Ice Amp. I mean, it could be alright to pass down to some other things. Don't really need high counter. Okay, Repel Fire, also a nice skill to pass down. Ice Amp, Repel Ice, Tetrakarn. I guess I can get rid of my Bufala. Oh, I actually do have something almighty on this party. I thought that my best chance at taking down the shadows was getting lucky with... taking down the hands was getting lucky with criticals, which I did, but... yeah, probably best to go for Mind Charge Mega Dollar there. Guess Evade Physical's fine to get rid of. Okay, Yosuke's already shot way ahead of the next boss. And Magarodine. I mean, this boss is often considered quite tough, though, so being a little over-leveled is probably okay. Chie is definitely shooting ahead. High counter can replace Counter Strike because they don't stack. Rainy Death is very, very nice. Wow, all the way to 67. I guess now I kind of want to go back and put Kanji into the party. Mabufudine, I guess I can get rid of Bufudine. And hey, you're actually not that far away from Medea Rahan. And there's Certain Escape. Now, Vigor Song's not for ages. Honestly, by the time you get Vigor Song, the game is almost over. Okay, I think I'll keep with this party just for this floor, and then I'll go back and swap in Yukiko and Kanji to let them get a little bit more experience, because everyone here is kind of set already. Aha, something new's here.
No problem. It'll be over in a flash.
It's a green Sigil!
4 of them. You need to thin them out.
Huh, and I'm already on Byakuya. That's pretty cool, although I'd probably rather leave this to Teddy.
Persona. That's how it's done.
Nice crit there. I often find that, like, AoE physical attacks tend to have very low, very, very low crit rates. So that's why often when Chie uses Revolution, she's still not going to crit very often with her, AoE attacks.
Awesome, Yosuke-senpai.
Well, we know it's not weak to ice. I'm guessing you're actually, like, weak to light or dark or something? I will check my notes, because I haven't got a scan yet. No, it has no weaknesses at all. And it's immune to electricity and wind. And it seems to take kind of light damage from physical attacks. Why is Yosuke always taking very roundabout paths to reach the enemies in these battles?
That looked like it hurt.
And the trees continue to be dizzy, so let's kick them while they're down. I should probably switch out Yosuke's weapon. I'm not really sure if I have much that's straight up better than what he currently has. I'll just take that. And here I already said this party was pretty much set on experience. Black Signature. Oh, okay, so now we're at level 75. What did I say about everyone being pretty much set? Okay, I don't think I'm gonna try fighting anything else on this floor, really. I don't need to at this point. But again, a lot of people have trouble with the boss of this dungeon, so it is advisable to be a little higher level. I'm pretty sure it's still level 65 though. And yeah, the higher floors of heaven look more like sunsets. I do think this song is pretty good. What's interesting is that there's a very similar, there's a dungeon song that's vocal in Persona 5, and that one actually got really grating to me over the course of exploring that dungeon. This one doesn't really. Maybe it's because it's much more calming and peaceful. Now, is this the line where Rise does a very strange moment of jumping to conclusions? Yes, it is. Like, okay, like, this is just something like, how do you get that out of just those few vague sentences? I mean, I know we should definitely be worried about Nanako, but still, I mean, I feel like that's a bit of a stretch. Okay, I think I have a combination that will get me Sraosha. And that is Alilat, who I already have, and Jin. And I have enough money for Jin. I just realized, I think this is going to be the first Ultimate Persona we're going to fuse, which is very, very fitting. Annoyingly, you can't inherit physical attacks despite having really great strength. But Repel Physical. Auto Maraku is novel, that requires me to lead with you, and I don't think I'm going to lead with you. Masakunda is decent. Could also get several different elements on you. Actually, no, you learn Megadola on later, but I suppose I can get that for now. And I mean, it never hurts to have more Makarakans in this upcoming fight. Really, I'm kind of going to use you as a power charge, Brave Blade bot. I never thought that I'd get one of these personas before the end of this dungeon. Even more strength, Zeodyne, which I don't think I'll really use. A lot of agility. There's Hammer Boost too, which... Don't think I really need Zeodyne. I don't know if you'll reach Megadola on. Yeah, you're not going to reach Megadola on. And agility and luck up. I could get that via an Emperor card or getting a lot of hands maybe. But yes, we now have the Ultimate Persona of Nanako's Social Link. A few more levels we might be able to get Koryu as well. I mean, it's definitely possible that we could have that by then. Would cost me a bit of money, though. And I guess I'll register the Mabufudine skill card. Okay, let's get moving into Paradise number 8. We're getting really, really close to the end, and there are still a few shadows. I know there's like an eagle-type shadow in this place who uses the Fear Ghastly Whale combo. First use of Sraosha, let's go! I knew I would get it after one battle. There is Spellmaster. So now I am basically free to fusion fodder you. In terms of filler skills, I used a skill card for that, I may as well not get rid of it. I have other things with Ice Amp. So yeah, Spellmaster and 2 Repel skills. My aim is to try and spread Spellmaster around, but it wouldn't hurt to spread around the other skills too. The Repels, I mean. Yeah, I realized Byakko doesn't... I realized that Zitsumito doesn't really have a lot of good attacking moves. Are those new?
Wow,
yeah, they're new.
This'll be cake.
Conviction Sword. Now, a lot of those things are weak to winds. And it doesn't look like you're weak to light. But I can try.
3 enemies defeated.
Well, you repel that.
Now what could you be weak? It's weak to fire. This'll be easy.
Okay then, let's do this.
You hit the enemy's weakness.
I kind of feel like there haven't been that many enemies in here that have been, and Rise has been using that all-out attack help for almost everything so far, but I feel like there haven't been that many enemies in here that are weak to fire. In general, if you're not concerned about spreading around the experience, you basically want to use Naoto for every fight in this dungeon, at least in Golden, because almost everything here is weak to, light or dark. Rank 8 SP card is pretty cool. Okay, level 65 for Chie.
Have I gotten a little stronger?
And, oh, one more and Yu-Gi-Oh gets Medea Rahan, which is pretty great. And once she has that, I can safely delete Divine Grace. I no longer need that. Because it just raises the effects of healing, and well, you know, you can't really rape. I say that, and then, Persona 5, hilariously, Proud Presence from Morgana actually does buff the healing of full heal spells, even though it's completely pointless. It's like, yeah, look at me, I'm healing 800 HP for a character who has 500 max HP. I think that thing's gonna get away. Or not. Oh, you brought a Minotaur with you too.
No.
I didn't really get to find your weakness the last time we fought you because I was talking about Dojima back then, so... I always find it really funny. I don't think in any of the Persona games, Minotaur 1 appears first. Wow, this thing is neutral to everything. That's really, really interesting.
Gee, Kanji, don't strain yourself.
What? They seriously both ran on the first turn? Does that only happen if someone misses and falls over? Because I've never seen a hand do that before.
As good as I got, damn it.
And misses.
Go for it, guys. Hang in there. That's amazing. Senpai, keep it up.
And Yukiko is the one who does the final blow. With a physical attack, because, yeah. And what Persona? Oh yeah, I'm still on Daisojo. I still really want to demo Samsara at one point. I'll probably will at some point in the game, but I guess now I can talk about that. I mean, it kind of fits talking about the Ultimate Light skill while we're in heaven. So, Samsara, back in Persona 3, it was an,
There's an enemy immune to light.
It was an 80% chance of instant death, and that's against things that are neutral to light. So not even things like weak to it. It was pretty expensive, but it was still pretty good against most regular encounters. Now, in Persona 4, it's a 60% chance of instant death to all enemies, which is still quite high. It's basically the equivalent of Hammer-On all enemies, because Hammer-On's single target and it's 60% instant death.
So persistent. Just 2 left. Come on, this is not over.
Die already.
So again, like it's decent, but it's nowhere near as good as it was back in Persona 3. And for its massive cost, I don't really think it's all that worth it in P4, especially since, just like I mentioned earlier with Thunder Rain, signature moves can't be passed down to other personas. Double full. Oh, no triple full, that would have been pretty good. Can we get a chain going? I'll take one more strength on Srosha, though. But yeah, it was kind of fun in Persona 3, being able to pass down Die for Me and Samsara onto pretty much anything you wanted, which could lead to things such as having Die for Me on Messiah, which was kind of interesting. And it was pretty likely too, because of one of the components used to fuse it. Oh, hi. Hallowed Turret.
This'll be cake.
I really like the concept of this enemy. It's like a divine tank. For all of the, like, evil divine gods in video games, you'd think at least one of them would.
It's weak to ice.
I was expecting you'd be weak to dark, but ice, okay then. You'd think that at least one of them would use, like, an arsenal of holy tanks. That'd be kind of cool, but, I haven't really seen that unless you count, like,
Here goes. Go. Knock him
Merkaba
out.
in, SMT4, I guess, which is supposed to be a chariot.
Damn, couldn't finish it.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd get that. It's probably not going to do that much damage. But yeah, like, honestly, I think the idea of, like, holy tanks would be pretty cool. Yeah, not a lot of damage at all, and I'm not getting a, huh. Okay then, maybe you're so hallowed that you're actually immune to darkness. Yep, you are! So it's, yeah, just really ice. We are still auto-Mataru'd though, I think, so I can just, either... I guess I'll go for a power charge. I'll still show this fight since it's an enemy we've never seen before. And more Mabufu, even though it's not going to do, like, much damage, or the all-out attack isn't going to really do much. I guess while we're talking, like, while we're on the subject of differences between Persona 3 and Persona 4, in terms of certain things that have been nerfed or buffed, I find that... That didn't say high counter. Yep, that is a repel physical, naturally. Okay, that's annoying. Very, very, very annoying. But I do have Bufudan on Byakko, and I'm not even going to bother going for Mind Charge here. We'll see how much this does. Okay, it's solid enough damage, but I can't make you dizzy with physical attacks, of course. I'm going to use this just in case you null fire, given that you're weak to ice, you probably do. But yeah, the all-out attack, in general, well, that power charge is useless now. In general, I just find that the all-out attack is a lot weaker in Persona 4 than it is in Persona 3. I have spontaneously repaired my smoking damage. Like, you see it here, it really doesn't do a lot of damage at all. And there are a ton of enemies that resist Almighty. Almighty resistances are not common in later games in the series, so... I'm not sure why Almighty is just so overall bad in P4, except really against things like hands. But I guess that's just how things go. And I do admit, the all-out attack in Persona 3 could be kind of broken, particularly against a certain set of bosses that I won't mention because it's kind of a slight spoiler. They're major plot-important villains. For some reason, they have a severe allergy to all-out attacks. Like, they do thousands of damage to them. I'm not sure exactly how all-out attack damage is calculated in P3. I think it's some form of, like... I know it's based on, like, your party's overall attack power, and Oromateru does take it into effect, which means you can do insane damage with that. But yeah, I always just found it kind of weird. Like in P3, all-out attacks are a bit too powerful. In P5, I think all-out attacks are also a bit too strong. But they kind of have to be, because they give you a really cool finishing animation, which you want to see as much as possible, because, again, it looks really cool. I guess I'll take the money up. Wasn't really worth a lot of money, though. Judgment Shot is also a cool, Why do the materials in P4 have such awesome names? But yeah, and then in P4, the all-out attack is just way too weak. Like, seriously, the all-out attack in this game is... Like, I would say the worst it's ever been in the series, but... Can you really say that when you've only got 3 games to compare? I think the all-out attack was in Persona 1 or 2, but it worked a little bit differently. I think it was like a combination skill. Or something. Oh, okay, hands. And also that knight that I hate. They're starting to buff a lot. That is not good. It is just interesting to see what gets nerfed and buffed, like in other installments of a series.
You can win this.
I'm trying to think of what P5 nerfed, because P5 has so many broken things that it's hard to tell if anything in it is actually underpowered at all, but, Oh yeah, well, Hammer and Mudo are really bad in P5. Mostly because Bless and Curse exist, and you can just do normal Bless and Curse damage, but, even then, they're still... I don't know, It's also, I think, another thing that really nerfs Hammer and Mudo indirectly in P5 is just the simple fact that negotiation exists. Because if the enemy is instantly dead, you can't negotiate with them, so you take away a big aspect of the game's battle system that way. I suppose I can try and Vile assault you while you're down. That kind of damage is actually very good against these Knights Blights. Yeah, I feel like that was actually power charged. But with the physical immunity, we're kind of fine. So I'm trying to go for a Mind Charge Megadola from will it actually... I think it will actually hit harder from Skadi than it will from Sraosha. I knew you'd go for the Knight and not the Hand. Yeah, because if we check this, Sraosha is 40 magic and Skadi is 47. Okay, it's only a little bit more. But I guess I can use Skadi. And Skadi has Spellmaster, so that means less expenditure with this Mega Dollar. Lot of damage there, but unfortunately it missed one of the hands. I don't know why I didn't have Kanji use Masuka Unda earlier. And when hands are this low, I like to pin them with Dizzy so they don't run away. Let's just get the Masuka Unda up again, just to make sure this other hand doesn't dodge, although we'll probably end up running.
It got back up. Defeat it fast.
Temper Slash. Is that the one that...
That was great.
And you negate that immediately. Is that the one that also got, like, a pretty significant buff in P... Well, not buff, but, like, it was really good in P5, and then Royal nerfed it? It was, like, light physical damage. No, that's it. Swift Strike. Swift Strike is the one that got changed. It went from light physical damage, multiple hits to all enemies, to multiple hits of minuscule physical damage, which... Yeah, nerfed it quite considerably. I forget if you're the one that I fire broke or not, but I won't take my chances. I'll fire break this one again.
Guys, GA-senpai's really hurt.
Agility, stay down, please. I don't know if these hands are coded to always use Tsukikage if it's not active. They might be, because in that case you can probably easily keep them pinned and not running by just spamming agility debuffs. Yeah, attack reverted, but I guess I can just spam Mega Dollars and hope for the best here. Reverted, but I know I can Argidine you in the face now. Yeah, sorry that I'm... Kinda had a feeling that would miss. Sorry that I'm just going on about other Persona games here, in a way, but I just do find it interesting to talk about how the games have changed over time. Every game has its own... Yeah, that was coming.
The nerve of that thing.
Every game has its own, like, really broken tactics.
I'll finish you.
Like, again, back in P3, Vorpal Blade was kind of insanely good, and, well, Persona 4 has kind of a insanely good thing, but we won't be seeing that for a little bit. I hate this thing so much. Its only weakness is something that barely does any damage to it.
Senpai, keep up the streak.
But at least I can heal with Yukiko here. I feel like this fight has gone on forever, actually. But at least I had things to talk about during it.
Here we go.
Come on down! Get lost!
No, that's not an Akihiko victory quote, I'm pretty sure.
Nice, Senpai!
Okay, not Rainy Death just yet, but that is Medea Rahan, and even though I probably don't really need Medea Rama, I am going to get rid of Divine Grace here, because I don't need that anymore. So I guess that leaves room for giving you both Argidine and Marargidine later. But then once you get Fire Amp, I'll probably have to put that on, because I like having both Boost and Amp on her. Oh, yeah, we already have that one. Yeah, we've already had this conversation. However, I think Teddy's is going to be new because he's ranked up to 8. Oh yes, great memories. It's like one of my favorite comedy scenes in the game and one of my least favorite in the same sentence. How does he cry through that suit? I don't want to know. Oh, chest key, that's cool. And I think we can... No, that's not a hand. I thought I saw it being a hand out of the corner of my eye, but no, we can move up to the next floor, and... Don't worry, we're coming. Yeah, this is the final floor, and you know what? Now is a perfect time to switch to this. I don't know why the fashion store was selling an exact replica of Dojima's outfit, but I'll take it. Also, that cigarette is actually chocolate, so don't worry, Yu's not actually smoking here. Yeah, circle rainbows have always been kind of an interesting concept to me. Red shadow on the final floor. I wonder what you are. Nope!
Now's your chance. Run!
Well, okay, so I guess that's technically a demonstration of the certain escape skill. So from now on, we will always escape battles in one turn. We don't have to wait for our navigator to find an opening. We can just get out of there anytime we want. And that's very convenient when you're grinding and you run into an enemy that you just don't want to fight because it's like slow and inefficient to kill because it doesn't give a lot of experience. You know what, unless there's a new enemy, I'm not going to fight anything here, because we're all set on levels right now. I thought I had to actually grind a bit before this boss, but I'm not going to need it at all. Well, that is something new, though.
No problem. It'll be over in a flash.
Debilitate, okay then. And also, I remember you. You were a boss back in Persona 3, I think. And it's weak to dark, which Yukiko has, so I can definitely, use that with her.
4 of them. You need to thin them out.
That is the best case scenario. I was really hoping that might happen.
Enemy down.
Do it again.
Chie-senpai?
Got a crit there, and then Yukiko can
Do a quick scan. It's weak to darkness. Go on, defeat it.
Mudo both of them, and Argidine the Cyclops.
Show Amaterasu.
Have I mentioned before how weird her pronunciation of Amaterasu
Seriously
is?
cool.
She says it like Amaterasu. Which even in, like, you know, not fully native Japanese pronunciations, that's still kind of weird. I think it's like the only time I've ever heard someone say it like that. And I think in some contexts the U at the end is silent. Kinda like Desu. Which is like always said like Des. I was thinking he'd miss entirely, but he did one better. Well, I mean, of course, anything is one better than missing entirely, but I mean, like, he did, you know, the exact opposite, hitting and criticaling. We get all these really awesome item names, and then just hemp cloth. And I'm gonna heal Chie because I don't like running around with her that low on health, especially since her health needs to fuel her physical attacks. On the subject of music, though, the track that plays when you're alone at home after Dojima's hospitalized and Nanako is kidnapped it just brings tears to my eyes, that song. Because in a way, it's not the kind of song like, if you heard that song out of context, it might sound happy. Like, you might not think it's a sad song, but when you actually finally hear it in context, and yeah, there's a reason why I've been making sure not to talk over Welcome Home Big Bro for the whole playthrough, because you will miss it horribly once it's gone.
Now's your chance. Run!
The silence is just so painful when you get home at this point in the story. Nanako not there, and just no welcome home. And that's a situation that we are hoping to remedy, because on the next floor, we are finally at the Pearly Gates. Through this door is Nanako, and I will see you next time for our rescue mission.